Hi guys, welcome to Mondays with Mary. So today, the dates just line up perfectly, and we're going to be looking at and having to play with the Build a Garden Posh Petals, which comes out on the 4th in just a couple of days. So usually it doesn't work out this way, but this time we're going for it. So let me show you. This is one of the smaller Build-A-Gardens, and I've done a couple of videos on the Build-A-Gardens before. If it's a large stamp set, then you do not get the die with it. You have to buy that separate if you want it. If it's a smaller, like this one is, then you do get the die set. But you always get the stamp and the stencil in the Build-A-Garden, and you get one of these. And believe me, I've been doing the Build-A-Garden since they started out, and I have quite the collection that I got for free of these. So, but this time, since it is smaller, they've included the die, which is always nice because the die cuts the flower and it cuts the sayings out. But I'm not sure what we're going to do. I'm not sure if we're just going to use it on the panel or if we're going to cut it out. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. Mine was super busy. It was my birthday weekend, even though technically I did not get a birthday this year. And if you're older, you'll know why. If you're younger, they can never figure the whole leap thing out. It's pretty funny. But it was busy. We did a fundraiser. We went to a fundraiser for the high school baseball. Well, it was actually the whole athletic department. My oldest son has a regular job, and then he coaches travel ball, and then helps coach high school ball. And so they had a crab feed on Saturday night, which was delicious. Keep those crabs coming. Though they try to give you a whole bunch of food before to fill you up so you don't eat as much crab. But after a few years, you catch on. I completely skipped the pasta this time. All right, so I think I'm going to do it this way, just in case we keep it as one panel. And I'm using a 5x7. Let me double check to make sure that this is cut 5x7, because it's looking awfully large. It might be bigger. And then if so, we need to cut it down. Nope. See, that's how much bigger real estate you have in a 5x7, which I am going to try to incorporate in my card making, because you do have so much more to play with. Plus, it just, you know, when they open it up, it's like, wow. And Hallmark cards are 5x7, so there you go. I am not sure why I'm putting this down here when I need my Misty to stamp, so bear with me. All right. It is. All right, let's move this out of the way for a minute so we can get the Misty going. Normally I use Obsidian Black, but I'm actually going to try Jet Black and see if that works. So if I want, I think I want it coming off the page a little bit. Well, you know something? I would cut this down anyway, so we'll just put it over here on the edge. Because if we've got the white panel, we're going to need to back it with a color, so it's not just white. All right. That should do us, hopefully. Let me get a eraser and season. This stamp has a lot of detail, so choosing the Jet Black might not work. We might have to go to Obsidian, because Obsidian Black from Altenew is just so crisp and it stamps so nice. We shall see. All right. And then I'll show you the colors we're going to use. See all that detail. Lots of detail. Let me know in comments if you subscribe to any of the Altenew clubs. One of the things I like about them is that you can pause. I do several of them, but then, you know, if they don't speak to me, you know, if they don't speak to me, or if I have something, you know, similar, then I save my money. Oh, that's stamping pretty good. One more time and I think we should be fine. There's a lot of detail here. The weather here, and I'm sorry if you're in a bad place, but it was exceptionally hot. I mean, because it's been foggy and cold and rainy, and then Friday and Saturday, it was like in the high 70s, low 80s. It was very unusual. But then the clouds rolled back in on Sunday, so. All right, I think, oh, right there. Right there, we need a little extra pressure. All right. I think that looks great. All right. I'm doing Tailored Expressions Virtual Stamp Joy next weekend. Let me know in comments if you've signed up for that. That's always a fun one, and a little crazy. But the fun thing about it is that there's no homework, because I've been so busy. It's like, I don't have time for homework right now. All right, we are using Dusty Pink, Blush Rose, and Raspberry Sunset. And these are all from the same family. And there's, this is the 3 darker ones. There's a lighter one, strawberry, that belongs to this family. And then Misty Sage, Mossy Meadow, Green Opal. They're from the same family. And I should write the family on here. I have the initials, but now I can't remember what they are. And then we might throw in Marshland and Sea Forest. The newer colors ones, they came out. I ran out of room for the big rounds for now, so I had to go with little tiny ones. All right, so let's get our how many stencils are in here? 4, it looks like. And they're numbered 1 through 4. And actually, these look pretty straightforward, all things considered. So let's see if I'm right or not. Time to change the glasses. Oh yeah, that's much better. All right. All right. That looks good there. And that looks good there. All right. I don't have much room here, so I'm gonna tape down here. See, the one time I pick a 5x7, it's a small stencil. All right. I chose the colors that they chose here. So it looks like on number 1, we're using the Misty Sage and the Dusty Pink. So we'll go with the Dusty Pink first. I'm not sure what I used on this brush before, but it looks pretty dark for a pink. I'm not sure what I did. All right. This is a flower. So we're going to have to mask off so I don't get my pink and my green mixed, even though there's just a little bit of green. All right. We'll do this little flower first. I'm holding tight over here because there's very little grip mat holding on, so making sure I go in each direction. And I don't think I'm going to get a little. Just want to get it a little bit darker using the same color down here at the base. All right, so that's our dusty pink. And then we're going to cover our pink up so we don't get green on it. So let me know in comments what you're working on. Let me put this here. All right. Not sure if, we'll have to see. We might want to go in here with these three little veins in a darker green. But if we do, we can always come back to this stencil and fill that in. I'm not exactly sure what this flower is supposed to be. You know, a lot of times they name it. So I'm not sure if this is just some designer's vision or if this is supposed to be something real. All right, that one's done. Now, number 2. All right, so number 2 is split. So we may have to line these up twice. All right, so these, yeah, we're gonna have to line it up twice. All right, so that's lined up good there. All right. So we want to make sure we don't get anything here or here or there. we can do our darker green, Mossy Meadow. I'm going to do the Mossy Meadow here. It's funny because I guess it's made so that it's artistic. It doesn't cover everything. Alright, so this is going to be interesting because my brain doesn't like stuff like this. We shall see. Alright. Impressionist, is that what it is called? Help me, somebody. What's it called? But you know, we'll try anything. All right, now we're going to go in with our blush rose and where? Oh, wait, let me get that green back. I forgot this little piece right here of green. All right. I have to make sure I put my finger there. All right, here we go. This is me learning how to let go. All right, let me put my finger here. All right. You darken that up right there. Right here. All right. Now we've got to remove all of these, and then we got to move this stencil to line it up. Here. Right, that looks good up there. Okay. I think that looks good. And we'll tape it up here. And I don't think we're close to anything, so I think we're good. Let me move this over just a tad. Okay. Back to what was this? Mossy Meadow. All right. It's funny that I didn't even notice the way this is, you know, the design. All right. All right, so that's it for number 2. And number 3 is, looks like it's the same way. So there's etching, so I'm trying to line up the etching and the lines. So many things. Okay, I think we got it. And of course, nothing is touching the sticky mat. Oh no, look, we are gonna have to cut it. See, I'm not used to working with larges. See what I did? So we're gonna have to use the dies and cut this down. Sad but true. All right, Raspberry Sunset is next for our flowers. And then we've got stem there. We don't want stem there. So we've got more stem, I think, than flowers. So I'm going to have to put my finger there. All right. Now, we will mask there. Looks like we're done with our pinks. Now we need our green. Over here. Green there. And we still need our green, but we've got to move. I am going to wipe this off. Just so we don't get any of the pink. Boy, I made a mess over there too. All right, now we need to find following the etching. All right. Let me know if you have this one, if you subscribe. All right. We need to mask off there. We got lots of layers of green on top of each other, and yet we're still going to have empty spaces. All right, that is all right. We are almost done, at least with this part. You know, this isn't bad, the flower-wise. All right, where are we going here? Okay, we've got lots of different pieces here. So this goes down here. And this is calling for a lighter shade of this. Yep. It is a good thing that we're cutting this off, because I've just made a mess. I have to remember to tape the whole edges. All right, so that's that. And then this goes down here. All right, hold on. Holding. I think this is where these other colors come into play. The sea, forest, and marshland. All right. So, let me see if I can clean this off. All right. So now we have are we back to here? Yep, I guess we're back to here. And then we're putting in some marshland. Will we even be able to tell? I don't know. This is a very kind of yellowish green. All right, well, let's see if we got everything. Where is there? I was looking for a big picture. Oh, well, here we go. So, we got white here, we got white here, we've got white all the way across. We got white. That should have some yellow, but it's all right. Right, yeah, I guess, yeah. It's hard to tell when things are left with some white and stuff, whether you got everything, but we did. All right, so we can't leave it like this since I made a mess. It's always something with me. All right. So we will cut. And then we'll have to decide what color panel to use. All right. It's pretty, and I'm okay with the flowers. I'm just gonna have to get used to the leaves. All right. I have to. All right, that looks good. Oh yeah, that's, see, I was trying to get around the wire, but then I realized that's the underside of the leaf. So, I'm not sure. I guess that's right. It looks right. It looks right, so we'll go for it. All right. All right. Yeah, that cut out perfectly. That was a little iffy, but it's good. All right. Now we're back down to a A2 size. So let me get this out of the way. And let's see. What color background should we do? Maybe a real light pink. Let me see what I have in my stash. And will we have to cut them apart? All right. Hold on a second. All right, so this is the lightest pink I have, but I don't think it does anything. Let's see. No. No, no, no. All right. I've got that light. Oh, let's see. This is a... This kind of goes with this. I think those are the only pinks for some reason that I have. So let's look. I know I said it didn't do anything, but I actually think I like this one better. That's too dark. I actually think I like this one better, and I think if we put a background. All right, I'm going to turn you off for a second. I'm going to go look for something. All right, so I chose this ethereal embossing folder from scrapbook.com that I just got. I love this kind of wavy lines, and I just thought it would kind of go with the lines in the leaves, but yet give it more softness. And it actually kind of looks like pillow. So I am happy with that. All right, so let me see. Will this hold this down for right now? Yes, okay. All right. So that makes me happy. All right. I'm not going to put, if you follow me, I usually don't put a sentiment on it right away. But when I do, I think I'll go right here in this kind of open space. All right, let me get some double-sided tape, which I had to move away from my desk because my dog was being needy. And she's just a love bug, and she needed to be right next to me all last week. So, hold on. All right, I am back. All right, so I grabbed this while I was over there, just so that you can see it doesn't, what I was talking about, putting a sentiment. This is Christmas, just ignore it, but putting a sentiment across here. So we've got the flower on both sides, top and bottom. All right. I've got the double-sided foam. I hope this isn't going to be too wide. I don't think it will be. some right there. Right there. Put a little right there. Right there. Right. Maybe a little right there. Whoops. It wants to stick everywhere but where I want it to. And then right there. All right, maybe one right there. Okay, hold on. Okay. Settled. All right, now. Of course, I don't know what I do with my pokey tool, but it's okay. I have others. This one's crooked. I don't know what I did with it. I sat one night and took all of my Stampin' Up! Paper packs and made card bases out of them while I was watching TV. It was a good thing to do while watching TV. I didn't realize I didn't have very many pinks though. All right, so do we want to go like that? Do we want to go like that? I think maybe like this. I do like that pink color now that we've given it some movement. All right, do we have any gems that will go? Well, that fell. I think we have some little ones in here. The Scotch tape dispenser just broke. These say clear, but they don't look clear to me. They look more yellow than anything. I mean, they're almost, I mean, these are what, gold? Clear with gold. See, they're almost the same. But I do think I have some clear in here. Or maybe those are blue. Here, we'll do iridescent. Now, if we can find some little iridescent ones. I see some. I see one there. I see one upside down here. And there's another one right there. All right. I was just thinking I was bragging on this glue the other day. And now it's got now it's stringy. All right. So this will dry clear. Right now it looks white. All right. There we have it. And you know something, once it's on a card base, and it's probably, you know, maybe it's not bothering you, because maybe it's just my mild OCD. But now that it's on a card base, it's not bothering me. You know, this unfinished is not bothering me as much as it was before. So, it's all good. All right. There we have it. A mess on my desk. Oh. And here we go. Posh Petals. It's the Build a Garden that will be coming out on the 4th. And like I said, when they're small, they usually, well, you know, the subscription comes with the 3 pieces. I don't know if it does if you buy it as a one-off, but I think it does. I'm not positive, but I think it does. So anyway, so there we go. And then we use the ethereal embossing folder from scrapbook.com, which I really like their, so far, I really like their embossing folders because they're nice and big. They're, what size are these? 9 inches long, and let me see, how much wide? 5.5 by 9, which is nice because sometimes, you know, when you're doing the, well, if you're doing a 6 by 6, you can't do a 5 by 7, so, or you probably could, but then it would be a lot of work, depending on if you had a pattern or not. So, all right, so that's it. So let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate if you would do that. You can subscribe. You can hit the bell, and it'll send you notifications when there's a new video to watch. Also, the thumbs up is the like button. I would love it if you would hit that one. It is the only way that YouTube knows that the video is worth them promoting, because they're too busy to watch them themselves. So they depend on you guys to let them know if a video is worthwhile or not. So I hope it was to you. And then the sharing button is right there. Sharing is caring. So that's it. that is it. I think, you know, I was hesitant in the beginning, but I think it's good. I think I like it. Well, I know I like it a lot better than I did when we were working on it. It was a little touch and go there for a second, but see, you have to let the process go before you make a decision. You can't be too hasty. So, all right. Leave me a comment, and that's it. So till next time, stay safe, stay well, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.